Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. So, I've decided to form a power block. And I figured I would do all the stuff, get the stuff set up before we got started. So here's my my statue. Here's my logo. And we're going to hit confirm on that. We're going to call ourselves I hadn't decided about this. Let's go with we're going to be a trade league. Let's go with the association. The Commonwealth of Free Nations. Ooh. I kind of just like the Commonwealth. Because it's all about trade. That's interesting. I still think Commonwealth of Free Nations is good. All right, we're gonna go with the trade league. We haven't done a cultural commonwealth yet, but I don't necessarily want to do that as Canada. There will be a time, but not yet. Religious convocation, we just did one of those. Military treaty, I don't feel like the common defense stuff is that good, but trade is very good. So imposing. Oh no, that's this one. Yeah. All right. So, and then for our first principle, we'll pick internal trade. That's my very favorite. We'll probably also do. Wait, hold on. So infrastructure and convoys contribution. This one's convoys contribution, and this one is convoys contribution, but reduced cost of port connections. All right, yeah, we want to start with internal trade. Yeah, and this will be our power block. We'll go ahead and form this. It's going to piss off a lot of people, and you know what? That's okay with me. We'll get to improving relations with all of our neighbors that we've irritated as we get along here. Oh, interesting. I've run myself out of influence. Well, let's see if I can go ahead and declare myself another rivalry. Not really a lot of good options. Let's hit Netherlands back, and then do I want to go after Bengal? I've still got pretty bad relations with Bengal. They're pretty small. Yeah, we'll hit Bengal. So we'll rival them, and then that'll give us a little bit more influence to play with. Let's go ahead and improve relations with the United States once again. We're still good with, and then France we're working on. Prussia, we're still basically good with. Austria we're still fine with. All right. Prussia, you're in the pot as well. All right, now, one little bit of housekeeping before we get rolling here. At this point, the Great Wave probably came out today. I am going to be playing a run of that, but I am going to finish this run first. So there's plenty more of Canada to enjoy. Next, I'm going to go after another target here. I'm probably going to go after Idar and try to incorporate them into Baroda. So let's get started with that. We do a Conquer CB, no one's going to be bothered. So let's go ahead and do it. Yep. Okay, that's fine. Sherbrooke, that's with the United States, so I'm not worried about that. And we'll send the 4th Army to handle the situation. It's going to cost us some money, but that's alright. You know, I'm going to sound like a broken record here, but I could probably stand to increase my my amount of construction sectors. My economy is continuing to be large, though we're only number 3. After Great Britain and probably China. Yeah, China. So I gotta get more construction capacity. So let's take a look at our market to see what I can do. Glass is a barrier. Steel is not as much of a barrier. I'm actually a little bit short on iron. I can definitely get a hold of more of that. Do we have iron capacity here in Manitoba? We don't. We have oil capacity, though. How is the oil situation? The oil situation is doing just fine. I'm using more of that later. What I really need to do, actually... Sealing strategies and Dreadnought, those are nice. What would it take for me... I have access to plastics right now. Oh, man. I should get plastics, because plastics is going to help solve my, Plastics is going to solve my... Yeah, let's knock these out for a second here. Plastics is going to solve my glass problem. And that's going to make things a lot easier. I'm not going to put it ahead of any of this other stuff, because I do need this. But for now, it'll solve the plastics problem. Alright, I want to build up iron production. I have less iron capacity in Canada than I was hoping for. Okay, we got iron capacity in the Yukon Territory and in the Northwest Territories. What about Nunavut? Nope, not in Nunavut. Alright, well that should be enough for now. What about... Which one of our states in the south is not as... Yeah, there's not much we can do here in Oregon. There is plenty of arable land. I suppose I could build up vineyard capacity, but it's not great. Whaling and fishing industries would be moderately productive, at least. So that's iron, and then glass. I don't want to just keep building up the Maritimes. The Maritimes has so much population that I feel like it's just silly. Let's build up the capital. Let's build up the glassworks here in the capital in Manitoba. We do have the infrastructure capacity, though actually we're going to need a little bit more rail to cover that. Let's go ahead and throw those at the top of the queue because they're higher priority. And then let's get a few more construction sectors built. They got a little attrition, and that's okay. Do I have my own automotive industry? You can tell this is a little bit later. Automotive... I do. I have car production in Manitoba. Okay. Well, maybe... I change up my I change up my methods. Yeah, we're gonna go to car use for the armies. Obviously, it's gonna make our armed forces a little bit more expensive, but I think I can live with that. Oh, and let's get machine guns rolling. Machine guns rolling, and you know what? We'll get motor recon rolling as well. Yeah. Okay. So I'm goobering my mobilization for whichever army I put on the front here. But, that's okay. The 4th. Yeah, let's go ahead and leave them on defense for the start of this war, just to get a little bit more organization. So next... Ooh, stonks. Nice. I get that for having productive companies. I have created for myself a shortage of cars, but that's okay. I can live with that. My automotive industry can for sure... develop to meet that challenge. Let's go ahead and throw an additional 10 levels of automobiles, of automotive industries in the capital. We'll throw those at the top of the queue. The power plants are still going to get built. We're still going to be in the process of getting built. Yep, they'll be fine. Alright, and then I wanted more construction capacity. Let's build up... Let's build up our less populous territories. I don't want to build too much... You know what? I can build plenty of construction capacity. Let's, So we got all of them up to 6. I need 4 more. Let's do 2 in Ontario, 2 in Northern Columbia, which is BC for everyone else, 2 in Manitoba in our timeline, and 2 in Quebec. Alright. We'll get that rolling. That'll sort itself out in good time. War has begun. So, this army is regaining organization, so no sweat there. We're not in a rush. I can take this. I can take as long as I want to do this. I'm not in a hurry. Let me see. That was about a 50% increase in construction capacity. These places are now staffed, and it's costing us a healthy amount of cash flow. But that's okay. We've got a very large reserve. In fact, we're over capacity. Is one of our allies advancing, or is this the enemy advancing? We got a battle. Okay, well, we're advancing. Well, I guess that solves that situation. The opium trade. Opium barons. Production at the opium plantations is booming, and foreign demand for opium could hardly be higher. The Oriya people of Bengal have become so enamored with the stuff that it has all but become the national pastime. The seeds of this flower, seemingly innocuous, are in truth the seeds of the fall of empires. Men will fight bloody wars to sate their gluttony for opium, and will sell their own mothers out for another taste. And we will be there to sell it to them. Keep the opium coming, extra plantations throughput, or take the pipe, my Bengali friend, Oriya becomes obsessed with opium. We'll do the second one. This also gives us trade advantage. I don't really know what that does. We'll do the second one, because we are going to hand this territory over to Baroda to complete the incorporation of as much of the state into Baroda as possible. The state of Gujarat into Baroda as possible. Population here, yeah, is largely Gujarati and largely Hindu, which aligns with Baroda's citizenship stuff. So, grant state, Canadian Gujarat, and confirm. Alright, next, we do have Mahashatra as one of our subjects. Let's bring in some of these smaller states. We got Kolhapur and... Oh, this is Portugal. I'm not going to go after them. I have a defensive pact with them. But Kolhapur, we can definitely go after. Now, Mahashatra has Hindu and Marathi. They're part of the Deccani heritage, Southern Indic language. And then Kolhapur's primary culture is also Marathi. Okay, so that's fine. We can incorporate them. Easy peasy. So, Kolhapur. Time to get conquered. I can't conquer them. Why not? Because they're subject to the French Republic. Okay, scratch that. Where else can I go? Oh, you know what? I was thinking about going after Siam. Let's see what it would look like if I tried to take a protectorate over Siam. 15.8 infamy. That's not great. Only Cambodia would try to stop me, though. Okay, so we'll put that on the docket. We'll leave that be for now. We're almost producing gourmet groceries, which is very nice. That's going to make our groceries very in demand in the world market, which is going to be very nice. There we go. So, let's take a quick look at how that impacts our situation. Ooh, we need more electrics industries, probably. Let's say I could subvene the export of telephones. Where's telephones here? Have I made telephones dirt cheap? Doesn't seem like it. Show me the phones. Show me the phones. Show me the phones. Show me the phones. Are phones really expensive? Phones are really expensive. Well, I'm done. Okay, so I definitely need more electrics industries. Let me see where I am currently producing electrics. Only a few locations. Let's build another block. Let's build a big block in southern Colombia. North Italian mass immigration. Very cool. That's going to about double our electrics production, and that is going to be just fine. Let's throw... I do want to finish out these universities. Let's throw the iron mines at the bottom of the queue and the whaling stations. On the other hand, yeah, let's put these universities. Let's have a second round of universities be lower priority. Did I throw a glassworks at the bottom? We'll just put them at the top. This isn't. I'm not called Precise Cat. That's for dang sure. All right, still at number 3 in GDP. Spanish mass migration, excellent. But we're rolling on up there. Great Qing is really growing fast. But I mean, they've got an enormous economy, so that's not really shocking. So standard of living is rising very well, which I'm quite appreciative of. And we've got a righteous government, so everything's basically coming up Canada at this point. Let's take a quick look at our power block. We have a 3-year growth rate from 2 minor powers to unrecognized regional powers. Okay, not bad. Not bad at all. Could use more, but that's why we're going after Siam. Let's look at other targets. Hyderabad is a good target, actually, for a protectorate. 21.8 infamy, though. And Brazil would step in, which is an interesting thing to think about. What's diplomacy like? It's not great. I don't want to use any more influence for the moment because I want to be reducing my infamy as fast as I can. I'm not yet at the level of strength where I can simply run roughshod over other countries without worrying about what the rest of the great powers of Europe think. France is in a forever war with Britain, which is to my advantage at present. You want to trade privileges for investment rights. Let's negotiate. I don't wish to give you investment rights. What if I gave you military assistance? You're the number 7 great power. You do have a 258. This might cost me a pile of money. Well, this is my military goods cost. So goods for military buildings, 136k. That's actually not that bad. That's only 13k. An increase for me. Let's try and give them military assistance instead. 87% chance they say yes. Let's send it. Nice. Wonderful. That's just all bonuses for Canada. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, I'm delighted. Wow, they do not own a lot of their economy. Great Britain owns 275. Britain, how much? You own 183 million of GDP outside of Britain. That's like an entire Canada. That's like an entire Canadian economy. That's bananas. Britain, what's going on over there? Alright, glassworks are getting rolling. We finished out the... Okay, auto industry's still continuing to grow. So let's queue in another major expansion. Oh, I've got recoil mechanisms for artillery. I'm going to enable that. Maybe rotary valve engine will make them more efficient. We'll find out. What about for munitions plants? Yeah, that's better. Don't complain to me. It's better. Automotive. Oh, I didn't build the. I only built some of these. I built the ones in Manitoba, but not the ones in Idaho. Those ones are way down here. Oh, no, maybe that's the private sector building those. Maybe that's the private queue. Yeah, that's the private queue building all of them. That's delightful. And there is defense in depth, which is really, really good for us. Unregulated automobiles. Due to a spate of accidents, there have been calls to regulate automobiles. It is being reported that 2 automobiles crashed into each other at high speed, severely injuring the occupants. Faster than a horse and twice as heavy. If people don't see why that's dangerous, I don't know what to tell you. Safer laws make safer streets. Reduce motor industry's throughput. And salty industrialists. People merely need to adjust. Happy industrialists. Our automobiles should have the right of way. 5% of lowest term pops in the whole nation become more radical. I feel very confident in the current run. So what I'm going to do is actually the first one. I'm going to say safer laws make safer streets. I don't think I've ever done this before. So this is an experiment to see if anything comes of this. Nothing typically happens if we say people merely need to adjust. But I'm going to piss off the industrialists just a little bit, and we'll see what happens. Archibald Cushing has retired. Now Valmont Guy, a known liberal, leads the devout, although they don't have a lot of power in Canada at present. In fact, they have functionally none. Alright, electrics industries are getting built. That's very good. Great Britain colonized East Angola. That's... poor Angola. People of Angola have suffered greatly. Alright, getting down to 13 infamy. So, again, targets are Siam and Hyderabad. Siam is an unrecognized regional power that will allow us to have a good, healthy amount of growth for our power block, which is nice. Now, is there anything else I can build up in Mahashatra, in the Bombay state, the Mumbai state, that would be useful for my economy? Got some iron. Okay, they got silk production capacity, which is very good. Tobacco, dyes. Alright, so let's take a quick look at our market. Filter to luxury goods. It's still the main one's tea that we're importing. Tea and sugar. Do they have sugar capacity? They do. That's beautiful. Quick check on infrastructure. There's plenty of it. So yeah. We'll just build 40 levels of sugar plants. Plantations. That'll be nice. Romanian mass immigration. Wonderful. Our economy continues to grow, which is very, very good. Diplomatic ties with Hindustan up here. That's cool. Rad. Macron's in the French market. Can't get involved with them. There's so many nations I can't get involved with because I don't wish to fight my allies, which I think you'll all agree is a sensible way of approaching this situation. I'm actually the number 2 power block in the world, which is exciting. Probably shy of the British Empire. Yeah, British Empire is first. Let's take a look at them. They are 5,810 prestige. And there is the urbanized Canada thing finally completed. So, winds of change. Ontario has come a long way since our attention was first brought to it, going from small farms, small houses, and scattered farmlands to being on its way to becoming a blooming metropolis. The woman sighs. Her hands stop crocheting for a moment. When I was younger, all of this was farmlands. Us kids would just play freely in the fields, not having to worry about getting hit by a cart or those criminals coming to get us, and we still had time to work. Well, Grandma, now people have even more places to work at. Finally, Ontario shines like never before. Extra loyalists from political movements, or this is not the end, extra urban center throughput. I'm going with the first one. Ontario really is a metropolis at this point. Quebec, too. Ontario has a population of 9.33 million. Quebec, 8 million. So we're really growing pretty strong. Saskatchewan and Alberta each have just over 2 million. Northern Columbia, 2.5 million. Manitoba, 2 million and continuing to grow. 1 million each in Southern Columbia and Idaho. 1.25 million in Idaho. A third of a million in Oregon, but we're getting there. Alaska, Yukon, Northwest Territories, and Nunavut are lower population. The first 3 are at about 250,000 each. Nunavut's 150K. And then finally we got the Maritimes, about 4.5 million. And the Rock, I've been told, is a more common real slang term for the Noof, which is Newfoundland and Labrador, is at 1.5 million. So yeah, we're really developing a strong population base here in Canada. Trampled underfoot. A demonstration organized by the Salish National Movement in Northern Colombia has been violently dispersed by police, leading to several fatalities and serious injuries. Memories of the incident have become a rallying cry for dissidents. He'd been smiling when he ordered his horse through the crowd. His expression was etched in her mind as if by acid on a metal plate. What kind of a man could maintain such a hideous serenity amongst the screams, the broken bones, the spurts of blood? As people fled around him, he had ordered his officers forward. And then what? Amidst the blur of human terror, she'd found herself sheltering in a haphazardly shuttered bar. Many others had not been so lucky. When she walked through the place where the demonstration had been held, she could not tell how many of the people sprawled across the flagstones were still moving. Censure the officers responsible. 2% of pops in northern Colombia become more radical, petite bourgeoisie unhappy. Or they were ordered to disperse, the police are not to blame. 10% of pops in northern Colombia become more radical, petite bourgeoisie happy. I'm going to do the first one. We're probably going to lose... Oh, no, we'll probably keep it for now. We might lose middle managers. I think that might cost us some bureaucracy, but I'm not sure. Are we doing okay for a tax capacity? We're actually not. We have... Yeah, these penalties are all... Oh, nope. Only the first two. Only the Maritimes and Quebec have actual shortages in taxation capacity. So we'll build up taxation capacity in those places. We need... I'm going to go with 3 levels in Quebec. 3, I said, and then in the Maritimes, we need like 5, actually. Yeah. That's reasonable. Do I want to throw those at the top of the queue? I don't think I actually do. The Canadian-French Union has formed as a result of increased relations with the French Republic. Excellent. That's delightful. I wonder if that will lead to anything. We still have a pretty strong liberal and feminist movement. You know, I could do feminism. We're in legal guardianship, which is a bit curious. I could move to women in the workforce. So this will piss off my animist rights movement, my Catholic rights movement, and my Orthodox rights movement. Let's take a look at them. They're all very, very weak. But I can't do it because no one currently in the government is for it. Hold on. But the petite bourgeoisie are neutral, so theoretically, if I can get a feminist around here, but all my slots are full. Alright, so that's fine. I'm not going to get there until agitation, and I'm not going to get agitation for a long time, because agitation is what gives you a fascist movement, and I don't want one of those. Ooh, we're getting international exchange standards. That's fun. It's going to give us an extra minting bonus, and our minting is pretty substantial with an economy of this size. Let's take a quick look at the rankings again. Yeah, we're creeping up on Great Britain now. I can't believe that I'm near to balance cash flow-wise with this much construction capacity. It's bananas. Bonkers, even. It is multiple entire bonkers. Getting university go up. We got pretty solid tech spread from unspent innovation now, and we're going to get more of it. So that's going to help us long term. Literacy is still not great. Part of that's because I established private healthcare a long time ago, and I should have established public healthcare. But, you know, who knows. Now, we got a little bit of a shortage of man-o-wars. Did I not create a military shipyard here in North Madagascar? I did, but it can't hire. Perhaps there's a population crunch? No. That's a shame. Where have I got some, hold on, let me look at that. Mumbai surely has... Could support such a building with their universities. Yes. Alright, Mumbai, you're going to get some... Do you already have military shipyards? You do, and they're producing ironclads. Alright, well that's not a solution to that problem then. What about Palanpur? Palanpur does not. Do they have universities? They have 1. Baroda? 12 levels of universities. Beautiful. But that probably means they do not have an existing military shipyard. Alright, nice. So we'll build that up here. They might produce ironclads. If they do, it's not the end of the world. Game got quiet for a second. Oh, I was going to look at this other thing. Bulgaria. Oh, there's a civil war in Bulgaria. A radical revolt. Well, I just hope both sides have fun. It's Persia independent? Persia is independent. Perhaps I could get involved. I'm not going to protectorate Japan. I'll have you know, I will not. Yeongnam. Interesting. This is a breakaway state from Chinese occupied Korea. Interesting. Oh, did China? Yes, that's right. China's got their recognition at this point. What if I declare that I'm interested in Manchuria? I'm interested in Manchuria. We have certain interests in Manchuria. Alright, so these sugar plantations should be coming online in Mumbai for the first time. Eastern crisis is progressing at this point. So we'll see what comes of that. So, our goal now... Let's take a quick look, make sure that these businesses are employing. And they sure are. So they're producing tons and tons of sugar. Now, engines are still expensive in our market. I'm in luxury goods. They sure are. There are a lot of engines being exported. That's partially because we're subvening engine exports. I'm probably paying a lot to make that happen. So what if I didn't? I don't think I need to at this stage. I sure am paying a lot in subventions. Mostly for tools. But I think I do still need my tool subvention for sure. Get more rubber. I could, if I could get into Africa, I could have rubber capacity. But I think that's going to be a little difficult for the time being. Let's take a quick look at the sugar situation. Yes, sugar has become dirt cheap, and we've completely, more or less completely obviated our dependence on foreign sugar by developing the sugar in Mumbai, which is very good. Fireside Chat. Chief Executive Marc-Pascal Cochon has decided to use the new and exciting radio technology to connect more directly with the people. It's like he's there in the room with me. It's hard not to be convinced. It should express authority, extra authority, or it should make us look good, happier industrialists. I'm going to go with the authority. Give us a little bit of wiggle room. Oh, Peter McBride has retired, leaving a moderate in charge of the petite bourgeoisie, which has dropped us to a legitimate government. But I'm okay with that. And none of our agitators are petite bourgeoisie agitators, so I can't put them in charge. Wow, I've more or less completely finished out my project. Alright, so what's the next thing we need? I think we need more motor industries. I think that's my go-to. So, where am I producing my motors? A lot of different places, but mostly Quebec and Ontario. What if I built a secondary motor place here in Manitoba? Interesting. The glassworks are having a hard time functioning. I'm curious. Well, perhaps motors will do better. We do have steel production here. So, let me see. Motors are going to take 30 electricity per level. So, let's go ahead with 10 levels of electrics plants, then 10 levels of motor industries, then another 10 levels of power plants, and another 10 levels of motor industries. And that'll be just fine. It'll be a little short for power, but that's okay. What else do we need for our economic development? We still need more telephones and radios. That's bananas. Everyone wants to buy our telephones and radios. Where did I put those electrics plants? Was it Southern Colombia? Yes. Ah, it's power. It's power that Southern Colombia needs more of. All right. 15 levels. Let's go with 10 levels of power plants in Southern Colombia. Okay, so that I beefed that. I beefed that pretty good. And I think we'll do a quick check. Okay, power prices in Manitoba are all right. Cool. And after this, I think I want to go ahead. Oh, right. I have Maya. Let's go ahead and... Gosh, I had sugar capacity here. Let's build up some sugar output here in Chiapas, and then some in Yucatan. Maya's gotta have... We gotta have industry here. Populations are quite low. Are Maya unrecognized? I hope not. They're not. Or no, they are. How are Maya unrecognized? Because they were broken off from Mexico, and Mexico are not unrecognized. Curious. Well, a little bit of economic development there will hopefully go a long way. From here, I did want to build up more electrics industries, and I think I'm going to put them here in northern Colombia. So we'll do 10 levels of power plants, 10 levels of electrics industries, and that should be just fine to get us rolling with. Now, we're finally down in infamy enough to start doing some more conquering. So, let's take a quick look. Siam is still independent. They sure are. So if I make them a protectorate, Ottoman Empire will probably not step in. Cambodia probably will. That's not a problem for me. Let's do it. Wonderful. Do they have anything resembling a real army? Not really. They don't have a large army. Let's take a quick look at their force composition. Yeah, irregular and skirmish. That's fine. You know what? I completely forgot to upgrade my units to siege artillery. So we'll do that. Wild wells, blowouts, oil fires, and other lethal accidents are becoming more common as the hunt for oil in Ontario grows more ruthless. You think you've seen fire, but you've never seen fire like this, he said, giving the young man a stern look. And you better pray you don't, because if you haven't been out on the oil fields, the only place you'd ever see it is hell itself. Where there is oil, there will be blood. Increased oil industry employee mortality, industrialists happy, trade unionists mad, or pressure the owners to take a more careful approach, reduce oil extractors' throughput, trade unionists happy, industrialists unhappy. I'm going to go with the second one. I don't want mortality. Alright, so that should get our stuff upgrading. Let's take a quick look at the 4th Army. Upgrades are in progress now. We are going to mobilize this force, but not yet. It'll be soon, though. It'll be soon. So now that we have siege artillery, we're head and shoulders above most smaller powers, so it shouldn't be much of a problem. Alright, so mobilized. We'll put them in Kutai. That's right, I took over Kutai. Right, and what did I build up here chiefly? Tea production. Which I am still mostly not getting from in my own market. Ooh. Got rayon, which is nice. Do I have tea capacity here in Siam? I will. Excellent. Quite a bit, in fact. Excellent. Siam, you're damaging relations. How dare you? I shall improve relations. I shall build a labyrinth to house the relations. Putting this army here is not going to do much of anything if I don't put a fleet over there. Y'all, I just want you to know, I am so good at video games, it's crazy. It's bananas how good at video games I am. Who am I paying? I'm paying the United States. What am I paying the United States for? For trade privileges. I'm getting we're trading military access and I'm paying them. That's probably fine. They're losing a war against Britain right now. What's this war about? What are you guys fighting about? You tried to take a bunch of things. Golly. USA. That's ambitious. I will say that. That's ambitious. Alright, am I still at number 3? No, I'm at number 2. I finally surpassed Great Britain. And I'm hurtling towards surpassing China as well. Which is wonderful. Alright, so there's war with Siam. Let's go ahead and invade. We'll invade Malaya. Just because I don't want to have a split front. Split fronts can be difficult. I don't think it's going to really cause me a problem. I just want to be conscientious. Now, what's this? Ah, Civil War in Luxembourg. Alright, that's fine. No, I could at the same time go after other parts of Borneo. But I think I'm going to have sufficient tea production in Siam that it should be fine. Siam is also going to bring with them some other subject states. So that'll be nice. Take a look at our power block. We are progressing at a very healthy clip. And we'll be progressing... Oh. This area is revolted. Which means it's not being defended. Alright, so never mind. We'll just invade the capital. It's fine. It's fine. We've got this. Siamese radical revolt. I wonder what'll come of that. Hopefully nothing. I'll be at war with the Siamese radical revolt as soon as I get them fully conquered. Now, I could go after Dainam as well. But I think Dainam has suffered significantly reduced arable land allocation in a recent patch. Because it feels like they are way, way less arable than they used to be. Yeah. Seems a shame to nerf Dainam. Maybe they always were. Maybe they weren't nerfed. But I feel like they've gotten weaker. Again, it seems a shame to nerf Dainam. They're such a weak start to begin with. But them's the breaks. So, got an invasion rolling. Broken supply lines for both armies, but my army is technologically superior. I'm at number 5 for standard of living, but the ones ahead of me are United Belgian States, Puerto Rico, Serbia, and Scandinavia, so I'm feeling reasonably confident. Still working on getting my GDP up. What else is needed? I'm still importing a lot of grain, which I don't love. I would love to be producing my own. Does Manitoba have weak market access? We do. We'll go ahead and build some railways here. Carnatic backs down. Interesting. We're probably going to need some additional power plants. No, this power plant's hiring. We're hiring. Alright, it's fine. Gosh, I really need steam power. But I'm working on sea lane strategies first. Do I have steam power spreading? I do. Alright, beautiful. How much extra innovation am I getting? Not too much, but not none either. Tuscany supports Italian unification. Very cool. Alright, so this war should sort itself out pretty soon. Now I'm going to need to get them below 0 war support first. But that shouldn't take too long. So I think next target is probably Hyderabad. Excuse me? Oh my goodness. There we go. Our allies will handle the other front. And we will handle this front. Kagi Yasuyoshi exiled from Japan. He's a nihilist. Alright, that is of no consequence to me. I do not require nihilists. So if this completes, that's good for the Ottoman Empire. This is the Rumelian Integrity bar. They are winning. They are progressing. Is it bad for me if it doesn't? I don't think so. A bunch of free states in southern Europe is not necessarily to Canada's benefit. The Devil's Paintbrush. General Dionel Surratt's use of dedicated machine gun teams in the Canada versus Siam War has yielded advantageous results on the field of battle, leaving full platoons of enemies dead before they've even reached our lines. If anyone had told me that it would be possible to make a gun that would pull a cartridge belt into position, pull a loaded cartridge out of it, move it in front of the barrel, thrust it into the barrel, close the breech in a proper manner, cock the hammer, pull the trigger, fire off the cartridge, extract the empty shell, and throw it out of the mechanism, and feed a new cartridge into position, and do all these things in the 10th of a second, I would not have believed it. But now, I have seen it with my own eyes. Whatever happens, we have got the Maxim gun and they have not. Extra defense for 2 years. Or Dionel Surratt's mastery of this tool is unparalleled. He becomes a stalwart defender forever. Let's go with that second one. That just seems sensible. Ooh, I lost an admiral. Oh, my goodness. My fleet has only one admiral. Alright. We're a petite bourgeois Republican. Let's see who else is around here. We've got a compliant master bureaucrat. Reduced supply route cost. That doesn't help as much. Reduced coup strength. That's not bad. You're a Republican. You're a market liberal. Charismatic for extra morale recovery. That's good. And dockyard organizer for reduced supply consumption. And then you're a Republican as well. Romantic. Reduced offense. Reduced morale loss. And dockyard organizer. I think I'm probably going to go with this guy. Nicholas Fraser. Welcome to the team, Mr. Fraser. And we're going to put Eustache Poupard at the same rank as Fraser so that they don't get mad at each other. That'll probably be fine. Alright. So this war should sort itself. Mexico would like a treaty. Trade privileges for investment rights. You know what? I'm in. Anyone I can invite to the power block? Not really. Again, I would love to have Mexico as a subject, but I don't have any ability to get that otherwise. Do a promotion. The industrialists demand the promotion of Major General Dionel Surratt, touting his history of loyal and effective service. So many medals adorned his jacket that one could scarcely see the fabric beneath, but it was not yet enough. Chest puffed out with pride, the general smiled as he imagined the look on Dorian's face when the lieutenant general learned of his imminent ascension. Their rivalry was legendary among the officers. At last, he would have his due. Dionel Surratt has earned it. He's promoted to lieutenant general, and the industrialists become happy. Or the industrialists will not force our hand. He loses some popularity, the industrialists get a little unhappy, the petite bourgeois become happier. I'm just going to do the first one. I think that's fine. I'm happy with the industrialists being happy. Zakaria Bakri. That's interesting. Alright, and we've closed out the eastern front of this war, which means that we should be rapidly hurtling towards a completion of the war. Working on conquering Tenasserim now, so what that should mean is we should get into a war with the Siamese Radical Revolt pretty soon. Alright, Siam? Welcome to the family, son. I guess not, but they're still at war with the Radical Revolt. And their sealing strategies. Beautiful. So, let's get the fleet home. Because we're going to need to upgrade our torpedo boats to scout cruisers. And scout cruisers are just extraordinarily strong. They're very much a late game military unit. Construction queue is basically done. Where are we for tech? Kicking away at Dreadnought, steam turbines rolling on. Let's do a quick pass. Ooh. Insufficient electricity in Nunavut. Local prices, we need 2 more levels. Go ahead and build those. Still insufficient construction for investment pool. Golly, that's bananas. Before I do that, let's take a quick look at local prices for transport. Okay, looking okay. Could use a little bit more in the Rock and the Maritimes. Basically all right around the rest of Canada. So we'll go ahead and see. For the Rock, we'll do 2 additional levels. And for the Maritimes, we'll do... Let me see. Oh, we actually need quite a few levels here. Let's go with 6. Now, let's take a look at electricity in the home areas. We need more in Oregon. We need to subsidize in Oregon. Southern Columbia, we need to produce more. Saskatchewan, we need to produce more. So, Oregon, we're good. None of it, I already queued it in. Southern Columbia. Where's this at a filter? Saskatchewan, we need... Let's go with 8 levels. Southern Columbia will go with a nice even 10 levels. Northern Columbia, we're already building up. Maritimes, we could use a couple more levels. Idaho, a couple more levels. Alberta, we need a couple more levels. Quebec, we could use a couple more levels. Manitoba, we'll build a couple more levels. Ontario, we'll just even out to 30. And then I think all these places around the world where we don't have any power production whatsoever, there's a little demand, we'll produce a level of power. And that'll be nice. Alright. It's a good amount of development for now. Now, what else? Oh, right. I need to build up tea production in Siam, which is the thing I conquered Siam for. So, tea plantations max out. This is in Bangkok and Nakhon Ratchasima. We'll max out tea plantations. Do we have the infrastructure capacity? We sure do. Lovely. Tenasserim, I think we've only got 1 spot. And then Siamese Cambodia, we have sufficient arable land for production. Now, I believe this puts Chiang Mai, Luang Prabang, and Cambodia all into... No, Cambodia's in the Vietnamese market. It's Champasak that's in our market. Alright. So these places we will also build tea production. Well, not Luang Prabang because they don't have any arable land available. Oh, neither does Chiang Mai. Alright, well that's okay. Alright, let's start improving relations with Siam. We'll improve relations with Chiang Mai. We'll improve relations with Luang Prabang. And we'll improve relations with Champasak. And Cambodia doesn't have any arable land either. That's tough. That's tough. Alright, next target's going to be Hyderabad. I think, do I want to... Yeah, I think I do want to put all this in ahead of the those tea plants that I'm working on. Before I do a little bit more imperialism in... Maybe I'll get scrappy with the Dutch East Indies. If I could conquer all of Oh, see, it's going to be a million infamy to get Western Borneo. But Northern Borneo has a real population shortage. The economy really would benefit from producing tea for Canada, though. Tech still bashing away at Dreadnought. I do like Dreadnought. You know, this is a surprise that our literacy remains so low. I didn't think that private schools were that weak. But of course, there's no one in the country who wants public schools more than private, so them's the breaks. Do you have the capacity to go to national supremacy? I don't necessarily want that, though. Well, Spain's mad. We'll improve relations with Spain as well. Let me see. I think my relation improvements with the GPs are all sorted at this point. The Canadian-British Union is mostly happy now, as our relations with Britain have improved. Do we have any treaties with Britain? We really don't. I don't think we got a defensive pact with Bengal. That's interesting. Wouldn't have thought of it. I still have solid ownership of my economy. France owns a lot of levels of my economy. Interesting. Their economy is still significantly smaller than mine. I'm still at number 2, although I'm hurtling towards number 1. Do I build more construction capacity? I think the answer has to be yes. Let's build 4 in Manitoba. I should be putting these at the front. Let's do 4 in Ontario, 4 in Quebec, 4 in Saskatchewan, and 4 in the Maritimes. Great Britain colonized Tanganyika. That's interesting. So now, my steel production capacity is still holding quite steady, I feel like. Yeah, we're still... Well, we could be... I could produce more steel. I could produce more steel. That's for dang sure. Seems like a good thing to do here in Manitoba, our capital. Although these steel mills are having a hard time hiring. Well, they certainly seem more efficient with water tube boiler. See, they think they would be better with hand assembly, but... I don't know, fam. I think they like water tube boiler a lot. They're going down in cash flow now. See, this is weird. I don't rightly know how to handle this. I say they'd be doing better with hand assembly, and they would be, but they don't... They're not able to hire, so they're not able to produce as much. Well, they're trying to hire. There's plenty of workforce available, but they're draining workforces from other places, which is not ideal. I don't rightly know how to deal with it. I think they gotta be on... I think they gotta be on... I don't know. It's hard. Regardless, I'm gonna build 20 levels of steel mills more here. And that should be worth it. Because I do for sure need the steel. I believe I should have rubber production capacity here in Kutai. I do not. Now, what about Siam? I do have some rubber capacity in Siam. I'm actually gonna... It's not much. I'll grant, it's not much. But I could... build this right up. And what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to throw those steel mills below the rubber plants. I think the steel mills are a lower priority long term than the rubber plants. Perfect. Alright, so we're going to do a big ol' production boom in Siam. Get that all rolled out and built up. North German mass immigration. See, one of the things I'm really benefiting from is immigration. In fact, I'm at the number 9 country in population, with a population closing in on 40 million. Ooh, and I got a new mandate available. Wonderful. Let me just do a quick check on where we are with pop. Yeah, so we're behind. We're right behind Japan. And then there's a gap in the Ottomans, another gap in Britain, another gap, and then France. But we're getting there. Now, did I hear an event popping up? No. What was I... Ah, yes. My power block. I do have the capacity to go to internal trade, too. This would provide a company throughput bonus and a 10% No, the infrastructure increase would not change. This one is... But it would get me the company throughput bonus. I am going to do that, because the company throughput bonus is rock solid. And we'll be good to go with that. Now, one thing I could also do is get moving on multilateral alliances in society, which would give me reduced infamy generation, which I might go for. I think I'm going to throw that one in the queue. And then we'll circle back to military and kind of see how things go. I got the destroyer spreading, so that's also good. I'm going to get submarine after that, probably. Foreign investment rights relinquished by Russia and Bukhara. Interesting. And there we go. Number 1 GDP. So now we've got 25 years to hit a billion. And I'll be very happy if we can hit a billion. Mining accident. A mine in Saskatchewan has collapsed, trapping miners in the dark shafts below. The scale of the accident has made the tragedy a story across Saskatchewan and the nation. They dug me out, but left my friend behind. That was all the foreman was able to get out of the wretched boy. Sooty rags clung to him like wispy strands of a torn funeral jacket. Whether he held back tears for fear of a beating or to keep strong, the foreman did not know. He was spent for the day. The foreman hoped the manager had a mind for mercy. This is a small price to pay for the march of industry. 5% of lower stardom pops in Saskatchewan become more radical. Industrialists stronger and happier. This outrageous abuse of the common man cannot stand. 5% of upper stardom pops become more radical. Trade unions stronger and happier. Or these mines are a blight upon men and countryside alike. Rural folk stronger and happier. 5% of middle stardom pops become more radical. I'm actually going to go with the second one. Slightly stronger trade unions is not a bad thing for me. And a handful of wealthy radicals will soon not be a problem, whereas a big swath of radicalized workers is a potential problem. Political migration. The rich and unstable political environment in Canada has proven attractive to political exiles and stateless people who have begun to congregate in the coffee houses of Fort Douglas. Oh, Fort Douglas, you flawed yet fiery jewel, where else could one see 3 different demonstrations within a 5 minutes walk? They're welcome to join the sea of voices, extra prestige, extra radicals from political movements. John Rockefeller, a corporatist, becomes employed in Canada, or these people make a mockery of Canada. Reduced prestige, reduced radicals from political movements. I'm going with the first one. I love my prestige. What can I say? Speaking of which, we're not that far away from Great Britain. In fact, let's take a quick look at the numbers here. How much is Britain getting from Navy power projection? 1,132. How much are we getting from Navy power projection? 740. Okay, so closing up to them in Navy power projection would not be the only thing that could get us there. We need to improve the size of our armed forces as well. Ooh, got a little bit of authority. Let's throw a consumption tax in there. Let's throw a consumption tax on automobiles. That's nice. Technical talents. Inspired by the prowess of British engineers and academics, the technically inclined industrialists have begun to align themselves with the Canadian-British Union. Well, by our standards, the methods they employ in their manufactories, they often find themselves saving half a man-hour per worker to produce the same output we do. The building I toured had quite an improved and innovative lighting system as well. Imagine, if you will, shifts being able to extend up to an hour more per day. His mustachioed compatriot was already pulling out a paper, drawing a line between disparate sets of calculations. When the two sums were placed next to each other, he let out a low whistle. We'll make great strides together, industrialists joins the Canadian-British Union, or our creations far outstrip those cheap British toys, weaker industrialists. I'm going to go with the second one. I don't want my industrialists in that lobby specifically. Alright, our development blitz in Southeast Asia is going well. We now have a corporatist movement because of John Rockefeller. This could potentially help us. What do you like? You do like public schools. Interesting. So there's the destroyer. Not a shocker. Not going to really affect us since we already have the scout cruiser, but it's nice too. Nice to be aware of. Do we have any increased institution capacity? Not really. I don't want to increase Social Security that much. I'm not paying much in welfare, but you gotta be careful. I suppose going to wage subsidies might be good. I also don't have regulatory bodies. Could I theoretically get the trade unions in here? I could, but it would not be very fruitful. Not be very legitimate. It would be hard. It would be hard to do. It's a bit of a shame because I would like to have higher standard of living because that would in turn increase my innovation capacity. I do want to build a second fleet, but I am paying a lot for that. Ooh, corporate governance. Excellent. I can get another company. Score. 4 out of 5 companies. Now, how many... 6 out of 6 government free company charters. So... this might cost me some authority, but I'd be okay with that if it cost me some authority. Formation speed would be nice. Agriculture throughput. Ooh, power plants throughput would be very, very nice. Reduced military goods cost would be really, really nice. Alright, Ontario Munitions Company is holding it out in front. Because I am spending quite a bit on goods for military buildings. Yeah, in fact... oh, migration attraction is very tempting. Prestige... oh, but that's wineries. That's not going to be able to happen. Yeah, we're going with a cheaper military. Ontario Munitions Company. I can't give them investment rights because I don't have the authority. Alright, beautiful. That's fine. That's just fine. And they're making good money, so that's just fine. Alright, so from here... take a quick look, make sure that we're not short on tax capacity. We actually are. All the rest of this is obstinance, but Ontario needs a little bit more taxation capacity. Man, Ontario, just a huge metropolis. Wow, needs like 6 more government sectors, I believe. We'll throw those right in there. Now we're working on our steel mills. That's fine. What else do we need for our economy? I still need more glassworks. I am continuing to export porcelain, am I not? Yes. I'm continuing to export porcelain at a very reasonable rate. So yeah, let's throw some more glassworks in. The ones in Manitoba are not very productive, unfortunately. So where do I have some productive glassworks? Oh my goodness, I have wooden ships being built in Alaska. No thank you. Synthetics plants will be better producing rayons, so we'll go ahead and build those. Alright. Let's build a few levels in the Northwest Territories. Ones in Idaho and the Rock are having a little bit of a hard time hiring. I'm going to throw 5 levels in the Rock and hope that that brings in that the available jobs bring in more people. And then we'll just shove another 20 levels in the Maritimes. I don't know what to tell you. The ones in the Maritimes seem very, very productive. I'm just gonna not. I'm gonna not look a gift horse in the mouth, I guess. Yeah, this place has more productive glassworks because we got lead mines available. I almost said land mines because we got landmines available. Telephones still expensive. But where are radios? Radios are still up there. I need more electrics industries. That's what I need. Gosh, and also golly, where can I build up my electrics capacity? Southern Columbia is still having a little bit of a hard time hiring. We'll do 5 levels each in Ontario, Quebec, and the Maritimes. Northern Columbia, hard time hiring there as well. Yeah, we'll go Maritimes maxing. I don't care. I'll build a huge metropolis in the Maritimes. Don't think I won't. You can't control me. I'm a loose cannon. A loose cannon, I say. I can build myself a skyscraper. Let's just build a couple more railways. Actually, I don't need a couple railways. Screw it. I got so much infrastructure here, it's crazy. And what the heck? Let's build some power block statues. So we're a trade league, so we get extra infrastructure from population and loyalists from political movements. That's just all bonuses. Let's build those power block statues. Golly. In fact, I could build those power block statues in all over my my subject states as well. And that's just all bonuses. It just seems most reasonable to build there. In addition to getting us a little bit of prestige, which we are of course getting. And now, we'll build one in Palanpur. Oh, I can't. Can't be constructed in a foreign state. Alright, well that makes sense. That is what it is. But extra loyalists from political movements, that's really incredible. One of the unsung, in my opinion, unsung benefits of a good power block is having a good power block statue bonus. And there is the steam turbine. So this is going to make our power situation much, much more effective. Just swapping my water into my water bottle. And I think I'm going to just bite the bullet and go. Oh my. Hold on. First things first. I'll be with you in a moment, rebellion. I could go to electric trains. I'll go to electric trains. And I'll go to coal-fired power plants. And I'll go to sea lane strategies. And then I'll take a quick look. I'll let a few weeks go by, and then I'll take a quick look at where we are in terms of power plant needs. Now, you're a modernist revolt in Baroda. Do I have the ability to back the modernists? Because modernists are rad. No. No, I do not. That's okay. We'll send the 4th Army, same as we've been doing. No need to be alarmed. Britain, you want trade privileges for trade privileges. Let's negotiate. Let's negotiate. What if you give me trade privileges, and I give you investment rights, and I give you money? $8,000. Actually, I think I don't even need to give them that much. That's bananas. Are you nerds seeing this? 6,000. 6,500. 95% chance they say yes. I'll take that risk. $6,500 for trade privileges and investment rights. Crazy. Other governments should be so lucky. Alright. So, that's another couple of weeks. Let's take a quick look at the power situation. Shortage in Oregon. Shortage in the Rock. Everywhere else, basically good. Let's go ahead and build one more level and we'll subsidize, and then Oregon just needs a subsidy. Alright, I think I noticed that Oregon needed a power subsidy before, and I didn't do that. So that one's on me. We'll subsidize in the Rock as well. That'll be just fine. Now, let's take a look at transport. Transport's looking basically good. Good. Electric railways ahoy. I saw Luang Prabang having a transport shortage, so we'll build there. In fact, do we have at least one level of railways in Siam? In most states we do. Not in Tenasserim. And what about in Malaya? Not in Malaya either. I could take over the rest of Malaya. What do you have the capacity to produce? Okay, so there's some good arable land here. Not as much as I would like, to be completely honest. Bengali Malaya. I'd love to steal that, but it is what it is. The Metropolitan Railway. The grand opening of the Fort Douglas Metropolitan Railway was received with much celebration. In a speech, the chief executive congratulated the engineers who made this possible. It is not only the railway that is electrified, but the whole city of Fort Douglas. The streets are abuzz with citizens marveling at the wonders of technology, speculating about what new innovations will come to transform our lives for the better. The engineers deserve a reward. 50% of engineers pops become more loyalist in Manitoba, and 25% railway throughput. Or a railway will be the envy of the world. 25 prestige instead of the loyalists. I'm going to go with the prestige instead of the loyalists. I think we're doing just fine for loyalism. In fact, I got rock solid loyalism. Making my politics very manageable. USA is going after Oldenburg, which is what it is, I guess. Rubber discovered in East Borneo. Interesting. And there's the Dreadnought. So, allow National Awakening, Nahanochisima. That's cool. We'll go ahead and upgrade our Dreadnoughts, our Ironclads to Dreadnoughts. And that'll be nice. That'll get us a little bit extra Navy power projection, which will hopefully put us closer to the British prestige amount. We're getting there. We're getting there. I think I definitely need a Pacific fleet. So let's go ahead and build that now. Needs a leader. Ooh, a persistent naval commander and a market liberal. You're in. Give that man a better hat. Alright. We'll go with 15 levels of scout cruisers. Put some naval bases in Canada, why don't we? Let's go with 20 levels of scout cruisers and 15 levels of dreadnoughts. And that'll be just fine. That'll get built really, really fast. Let's actually, in fact, simply throw these at the top of the queue. Because the amount of fast they will be built is so extreme. Now, do I want these railways built first? I think I do. So we'll get those knocked right out. War should be popping off soon. There we go. Yep, it's looking like it's going. Oldenburg backs down. Cool. Situation going on in Hungary. That's interesting. South Italian mass migration. Wonderful. Now, I recognize that my my standard of living is not getting any higher, but my population is increasing, and that's very good. The Japanese-Canadian Treaty of Transit and Commerce. They want to give me trade privileges. No, they want to get trade privileges. They want to give investment rights, trade privileges, and cash. Interesting. But hear me out. What if instead of trade privileges, you just give me trade privileges and investment rights? How about that? Let's make it for longer. 25 years, till the end of the run. How about that? No, screw it, 99 years. No, they don't like that. Okay. Yeah, let's do it. Investment rights and trade privileges. I'm in. Let's do it. Let's go buck wild. Excellent. That worked out. The Gigantic. Oh, boy. Marc-Pascal Cochon of the Industrialists has determined to sponsor the construction of a memorable ocean liner in the shipyards of the Maritimes. It will be like nothing ever seen. The majesty, the perfect reflection of the light against its 4 black funnels was sufficient to itself. A number of us who enjoyed the crisp air were promenading about the deck. There is a sense of emptiness that comes over us at evening. The kids stood silent. We couldn't talk after that. The ship, the sunset, and the shameless dream of the future crystallized. People will talk about the luxury of this ship, extra prestige. We should make its construction more efficient, extra shipyards throughput. Or we have no time to follow a maniac's delusion. Happy petite bourgeoisie, unhappy industrialists. 2% of laborers pops in the Maritimes become more radical. I'm actually going to pick that third one because this is the Titanic and it explodes if you don't pick it. Crashes itself right into an iceberg. Cool. Oh my goodness. The Antillean Confederation. Trade privileges for trade privileges and investment rights. Let's negotiate. How would you prefer to have... Actually, I'm fine with you having trade privileges. Let's do it. Very nice. However, it is the middle of 1911, and unfortunately, I am... I appear to be having a small optical migraine. Let's just go to the end of the year, and I'll try and relax a little bit. Because I want to get us to a nice clean hour and a half here. Optical migraines, I have been blessed with the best type of migraine you can have, which is the kind that look weird but don't hurt. This is a very... I really lucked out on this, is what I'm saying. So this is I'm going to become very tired pretty soon, but it's not going to be the type of migraine that makes you feel just absolutely terrible. We're closing in on the end of the episode. How much would it be to take Hyderabad? This would put me over. Okay, this would make me fight Brazil and Cochin. I'll leave this for next episode. I think I am going to do that. It's just going to take some time. Now, I can reduce Siam's autonomy, so let's do that. They're just pretending they've left the Commonwealth of Free Nations. They haven't. They're now my protectorates. And they should be going down in Liberty Desire pretty well. Yes, looks like they all are. That's lovely. We'll see what comes of that. So, let's take a quick look at my other subjects. I'm going to sort by subject type. I do have... Okay, so I have plenty of puppets. And then 2 additional... Oh, Champasak became a puppet, so they were a puppet of Siam's before. And then... Alright, so I have 2 protectorates I need to concern myself with. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. Now, I just need to make sure that Siam is reducing Liberty Desire, and they surely are. So that's good. That's going to be very clean. We're going to be very happy. Alright. Yeah, and then we got those power block statues. The Ontario Pipeline. Oil companies operating in Ontario are requesting government assistance in funding a pipeline, promising that its construction will be accompanied by other infrastructure improvements. putting a liquid inside a solid, putting that solid inside another solid, and propelling the whole mess down a railway. Trust me, in the future they will laugh at how we once did this. Now, let me show you how simple it can be. It'll just be like turning on a tap. We'll contribute to the funding of this project. Extra infrastructure, extra oil extractors throughput. Industrials happy. Oh, it's 9,300 government expenses. That's quite a bit. Or this isn't in the budget. Industrials mad. I do like permanent infrastructure. Oh, an extra oil extractors throughput. Do I have... How much oil is there in Ontario? Before I do this, because 9,300 is not zero. Well, it's going to be worth it. We'll contribute to the funding. It's going to be worth it long term. Once I get plastics, it's going to be mega worth it. It's going to be worth it for days. Interesting. So these countries are now mad. But Siam is still okay. Prussia, why do you got to be like this? Prussia, why are you like this? Interestingly, Britain isn't sure they want to join in. Neither are the Ottomans. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get pulled into this, Garbo. Alright. Well, before we do this... I'm gonna increase the size of the first army by a lot. In fact, I think we're gonna double it. 5, 10, 15, 20... 25, 30, 35, 40. And for artillery, 10, 20, 30. And I'll increase the level of lancers. And I'm actually going to throw all of these military buildings at the top of the queue. We're just going to go buck wild building up military here. Alright, because this war, it's going to be... Oh, great, Qing sides with them as well. How curious. Yep. And there's France asking for us. Okay. So... let's mobilize the lads. Alright, first army. I'm gonna put you on what I see as the main front. We're gonna hold the other armies here. Actually, well, we're gonna see where they're gonna go. Because we'll see if Britain gets in on this. Oh, Britain doesn't want to get in now. Excellent. I helped. Ottoman Empire probably still gonna get in. So if the Ottoman Empire gets in, do I have a front with them? Mexico sides with Russia. Mexico. How could you? I thought we were such good friends, Mexico. Ooh, I might need to add a war goal against Mexico. I tell you what. How many Maya people are there in Veracruz? Not many. What about Oaxaca? No, that's not wise. Ah, Mexico, you aren't doing slavery or anything, are you? No. I didn't think so, but I thought it'd be useful to check. And who else is in here? Who is it that helped him? It was China? It was China. Well, tell you what. There's a lot of maneuvering to be done here, but I don't think I've got the energy to do it. We're coming up on a nice clean hour and a half. So I think that is going to be the end of the episode. I have created for myself a shortage of automobiles. I might need to export tariff automobiles. That might just be what I need to do. Not going to export Savine automobiles, that's for dang sure. Just a little tariff. As a treat. All right. Anyway, hopefully I'll be able to record another episode before the end of the week. We'll see. We'll see how things go. Um, in any case, that is all for tonight, my nerds. I have had fun. I hope you all have had fun, and I will see you on the other side.